But anyway, my name is Matthew Gunnan, and I'm the founder and CEO of Esports One. So I want you all to take a second and think about what it would be like if you were watching an NFL broadcast and there wasn't that bright yellow first down line being provided to you. It's become a necessity for these broadcasts as it adds a level of engagement that fans can't imagine being without. Right now in the esports industry, there isn't a first down line. We have dedicated ourselves to the advancement of how users engage in esports as a whole, in the same way that fans can't live without that bright yellow first down line. Users won't be able to live without Esports One. So the esports industry is still very much in its infancy, especially when it comes to the innovation and the part that esports plays in the day-to-day fan experience. Sciences like machine learning, computer vision, OCR are still very much underutilized in the overall esports experience. At Esports One, we have engineered a platform that innovates, that uses these type of sciences and technologies to innovate on the overall esports experience. So some of you might not be as familiar with esports in general. Basically what it is it's competitive gaming. At its roots, most notably, recently there was one of the most major or biggest events that took place, had more than 360 million people tune in. So I want you to take a second and think about that. Compared to traditional sports, it's quickly becoming one of the largest entertainment industries in the world and is growing at more than 20% year over year. So before I get into the specifics about Esports One, I've personally been in esports for almost a decade now. And I got my start when I launched a website by the name of Leaguepedia close to 7 or 8 years ago. It quickly became kind of the predominant resource for League of Legends. And so whenever someone was looking for information about a team or a player, they would come to our website. As one of our kind of defining factors and ways that differentiates Esports One as a whole is esportspedia. Esportspedia is one of the largest esports websites in the world. It covers a number of game titles and provides a definitive resource for Esports One that isn't accessible anywhere else, essentially. So it gives us a direct tie-in with the community that no one else essentially has. So right now with Esportspedia, we have tens of millions of users that visit the site on a regular basis. So in terms of one thing that you wouldn't have to worry about with Esports One is that we won't spend much money or any money really on marketing to actually grow the company because we have a large user base already established. So now let's talk about Esports One specifically. And as I mentioned, our technology provides us with the capabilities to extract information in real time without any degradation to the user. This means that what would originally require manual intervention can now be completely automated. So what that means for the user is now that they can experience esports in ways that traditional sports isn't even capable of. Imagine being able to interact with events in real time during a live football broadcast, like picking whether the next play will be a pass or a run, or if the field goal kicker's kick will actually go through the goalpost. What if you could also define exactly what information was being shown to you while you're watching a live broadcast? We're pulling the power of innovation and putting it in the hands of users. So at Esports One, we are also redefining the norm in esports engagement. Users will have insights into the mechanics of these games and these broadcasts like ever before. The applications for kind of this technology is endless, and we're dedicated essentially to bringing these to the forefront of the esports industry. So I'm sure some of you that have experience trying to watch an esports broadcast, it can be very daunting and you have no idea what's going on. As an example, or kind of an example from a recent broadcast, you can say that Cloud9 just recently aced TSM. They moved on to secure Baron, ran down mid lane, took the inhibitor, backed and bought items and upgraded their items. You might think that all of that sounds like nonsense, but essentially that is what is typically a broadcaster saying during a live event. So at Esports One way that we're utilizing our technology to address these sort of issues and these sort of limitations is through the use of blueprints. Essentially, blueprints are pre-configured pages that are customized to the user and to the viewer and provides them various sort of forms of engagement tools that are specific to that user persona. So if it's an educational individual trying to watch, get more engaged with the broadcast, or it's someone that's a big fan of a specific team, we're able to encapsulate and customize that experience for them. So now I'm sure, after highlighting kind of the technology, how exactly do we make money? So similar to some of the big business models of some of the biggest esports titles in the world, users can use Esports One completely free and without charge. However, certain features on Esports One, like the blueprints or custom modules, require have a virtual cost associated with them. So users will be able to earn tokens by performing various actions on the site to acquire these tokens, or they can additionally pay for token packs that they can then spend on the site. We also have a premium subscription that users can purchase that is more geared towards the professional scene, like teams and content creators. And this is allows us to provide data that goes all the way back to 2013 to our user base. So now specifically, is there a market fit here? Well, you're sort of in luck, because just yesterday we launched our Esports One landing page and our announced Esports One to the masses, and we received tremendous support thus far. Within the first 24 hours, we've already received nearly 8,000 signups for our beta, and the community is extremely excited about what we're building. Needless to say, Esports One is what the community has really been waiting for in esports. So our team I personally believe that to build a successful team, build a successful company, it starts at the team. And we've done that. We put together a very superb team around Esports One, including myself and Jean, who's my co-founder, and comes directly from, and she can join the team, comes directly from MIT, as well as our CTO, Jim, who is probably the smartest engineer I've ever met. So we're personally seeking $2 million in our seed round. Thus far, we've raised $250,000 on a pre-seed, and it's allowed us to get to where we are now. And we're looking to actually launch our MVP by September. With a seed round, it will not only allow for us to hit our deadline, but also expand into other game titles and quickly ramp up with our team. So I appreciate you listening, and we'll be showing a demo over at our booth later today. Thank you.